They got the, you get your car all stickered up yet?
Not yet. I figure wait till spring.
Yeah, we run around incognito.
I got red plates.
We also gotta get on that policy thing too.
Yeah. Yep, things are starting to get sane again now that budgets are done, so. And catch up on shit.
That grant thing, Webster was talking about. Resiliency, something else. I didn't know if that was something we could use for that over there, but looks like we're almost covered on
yeah,
that.
we're pretty much covering that. That's the thing we're going in as a group to try to get.
But just reading something about each town needs or each one of us needs a project we're looking for, so I didn't know.
Yeah, we're gonna go in as a group and put the projects forth and it'll probably just be replacing poles and stuff.
Get a hydro dam back where
I
it
mean,
used to be one
the
on the
projects-
Eon, so we can make our own power and not buy it from the
The
Canadian.
projects can be as simple as, yeah, I mean, the project can be as simple as,
But I don't think Diane would give her house.
We'll put it down where the,
yeah,
where it was down below it.
the projects can be
We
as
don't
simple,
have to have it very high to produce power.
they can be as simple as brush cutting.
Yeah.
We'll just save budget money by the grant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We budgeted like 30 grand again, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go brush cutting.
Have to start buying the coal
I don't know, they're expensive.
off. Really?
Oh,
Yeah, we're.
Co-op. Yeah,
We're not compared to that.
we were a lot cheaper.
And your power
Really?
stays on.
Well, no, I just, we're a lot, we just sold.
The three most expensive are GMP, Co-op, and Washington Electric.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle of the pack.
Huh.
And they are right up
Well,
top.
we're an hour early according to that clock.
Yeah.
You turning her on? I don't know where Will is.
Recording, that's, I don't know why he's quiet up there. Recording is in progress.
All right, I'll bring the meeting to order, 6:01. On March 10th, 2025, all trustees and Rosemary and Eric are present.
Except for Will.
That?
Except for Will.
Except for Will. Pledge allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Got any changes? We got anything to add? You're got everything you had on there? Before I say all. Okay, I'd look for a motion to approve the minutes from February 10th, 2025 and February 26th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of February 10th and what was the other day?
26th.
And the 26th, 2025.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Rosemary. Oh, member of the public, I don't see anything.
Done.
Good news, bad news, no news.
Not a lot of them. I haven't closed out the year yet. I'm waiting for Village of Morrisville Water and Light bills for the maintenance costs for last year. They said they'd give it to me this week. I think there's been a whole lot of changes to this report since last time. The electric has changed a little bit because we've gotten the gross revenue tax in there. Handed out the cash amounts for the, as of today. And the warning for the village will be in the paper this week and the next 2 weeks. And we're currently working on the village report. And we attended a Nemrick cash receipt class, part 1, and there, I think it's next week or the week after, part 2 is for the Nemrick class. Then in April, there is one for PPP funds that we're all going to attend.
What's the drop dead date for department reports?
I'd like them by Friday.
Okay.
All the rest,
Awesome. Anybody got any questions for Rosemary? I think we're gonna be quick, Rosemary, but you probably ought to stick around for our discussion about the annual meeting.
Waste Manager Report, March 10th, 2025. Water and light garage projects turning forward, it remains on schedule. Bid requests went out on February 20th. We conducted a voluntary pre-bid walkthrough on February 27th. So far, at least 4 viable general contractors and 10 subcontractors have viewed the plans, but likely even more, since 4 plans rooms, which are websites that advertise construction work opportunities, also picked up a set of plans. Questions are due from prospective bidders by tomorrow, with a couple in already, and bids are due 2 weeks from today. The crew is working furiously to have the garage empty by the end of the month. It's going well so far. I attended Capitol for a day at the Tech Center on the 28th. More of that in discussion item 3. Last Friday, the village celebrated Employee Appreciation Day. I brought in donuts from the cupboard and invited the water, light, and wastewater crews for a coffee break at the office. All were thanked for the great work they've been doing for the residents. And there are only 10 days until spring. Short report.
So 2 weeks from today, do we need a special meeting to review them and get them going quick, or is that gonna be good to wait until what? Our the annual meeting's the 1st. Well, are we doing a 9th for a swearing meeting?
You can swear the 9th.
So that's not.
Let's say, I might-
That'd be a
I might-
Wednesday. So
I'll have to
just wanna
ask-
know so I can tell him. Or are we waiting until the 14th? That will technically be 2 weeks without chair almost.
What are we talking, we're talking about April?
Yes, our annual meeting, and then I think the last couple of times we did the following Wednesday as a swearing.
Okay. I'm gonna have to ask Pia about if we need to call an early meeting to award contract. So. Yep, and about what timeline that should be. And I'll make her do it on a Wednesday.
Yeah, because like I said, I just think that we had a severe downtime, I'd like to keep it moving.
Absolutely.
So if we can get them and we can review them and decide within a day or two afterwards, it would be
Yep,
a huge step to
it
the
would.
next board.
Has there been any interest for my seat?
but you got a petition.
I'm gonna write you back in, Steve.
All you need is 8 votes.
I know. You won't refuse if we get enough of your. I let you know my diabolical plan too soon, huh? I'm gonna be out of town that day. You're gonna do the wastewater now?
Yep, water wastewater reports. Operational status of the wastewater plant, call outs, EDMR and WR-43 were expended to the state. We hauled 48,000 gallons of sludge to Morrisville for processing for the month of February. Installed a new alum pump, alum lines to the SBR had frozen. We believe the heat tape was never connected to a new power source after the flood. We were able to get it thawed and it's operating now. Replaced a blown belt on the snow blower. It's seen a lot of use this winter. Passive insurance inspector did a walkthrough of the plant. A few deficiencies were noted and have been corrected. The fuel remain unresolved. Due to flood issues. Our lab vacuum pump isn't operating properly. We've ordered a seal kit for it. We're using Morrisville spare pump until we get it fixed. Tim and Dan participated in an 8-hour aquarobics SBR training in anticipation of the new plant that will be on the system. It was a very useful class. A lot of new information was learned. Spent a lot of time with snow cleanup at the plant and pump stations. Operational status of the water plant callouts. Monthly reports were submitted to the state. Coliform samples are negative. Rotated the pumps at Katie Wind Pump House 2. Assisted Village Public Works in replacing master meter at Highland Heights that failed on Sunday. We handed out boil notices Sunday and took the required 2 coliform samples on Monday and drove them to the lab in Williston. They were negative and were able to lift the boil water notice on Tuesday and handed out those notices as well. We performed the once every 3 and 9 year water sampling for inorganic chemicals, gross alpha, nitrates, and volatile organic compounds. All results were well below state thresholds. Water loss was 14%. And that includes the unmetered water that was used for the ice skate rink.
So it should be down in the 5s.
Yep. Yeah, actually,
If we don't find any leaks.
I
Well,
was doing that by memory, it's either 14 or 17%. Either way, it included that big loss.
Yeah.
So basically, with that big loss and a loss in the teens, you know, we have a tight system right now. Water and light report. Electric department, mutual aid to Hyde Park, 3 hours and sold them a 25 kVA pole mount transformer. Crews are building shelves and starting to move. Call out the Woolen Mill for a pad mount transformer knocked off the pad from snow removal. Received payment for half of the tree removal at 114th School Street. So half of it was deemed necessary for the electrical lines. So we could have just majorly trimmed the tree, but the owner wanted it gone, so he got charged for his portion. So met with the engineers in new garage. Had pre-bid walkthrough at the garage. Met the industrial park, utilities, shelled out snow substation, had trucks, sticks, grounds, jumpers, rubber goods, got annual testing done. Swapped out the meter at Parker and Stearns Mill that got hit by a skid steer. Completed monthly meter reading, high-low checks, substation checks, and dig statements. Water and sewer. Meter installed, the water turned on at 136 School Street. Moved snow from around fire hydrants. Water leak at Wescom Road and West Highland Ave. Bolts holding the water meter were rusted out. Had a boil water notice test come back good. Frozen water at 55 Park Street wasn't ours. General picked up snow, pushed back banks, did a lot of that. Replaced cutting edge on 2500 pickup plow. Changed out flags, had the snow blower sides replaced, AOT grant meeting. Demoed a tool cap for sidewalks, will not work as it's too wide. Ordered a new S450 Bobcat to replace the old one for sidewalks. Sand, salt, and plowing of sidewalks. Safety, NEPA safety meeting was on March 5th, chainsaw and chipper safety. Good. I mean, we were just basically looking at the meeting was mostly on pump station, if it'll handle it.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's just the utilities things for the engineer. Yeah,
About 10 more meetings in.
exactly.
And when the time comes, will our electric company do the electric installation, or will that be subbed out, or, you know?
That remains to be seen. It's all going underground, so we might ask them to sub it to our specs.
No, do it.
If it was all overhead, we'd do it for sure, but they're burying it, so.
Okay, question real quick, go back.
Yes, sir.
The garage move, did you get help from the guys? Did we?
So far, they're not needing it.
Okay, so they're gonna be,
I'm monitoring.
still gonna be on time.
Yeah. Yep.
So just to let everybody know, I had talked to Eric that I was worried with snow removal, you know, and we got lucky, it stopped snowing.
Right.
So, as long as they don't do that again, that they weren't gonna be able to get out on time, so I talked to them about possibly getting like grunt move junk to assist for a day or two.
Right.
Keeping it within the scope of the project.
Which we'll do if they need it, and it's not the right time for it anyway, because right now. They're moving stuff, but they're also organizing to make it better.
Yeah.
So they built shelves, all that stuff, and not gonna grunt move junk building shelves.
And and they're kind of going through it and getting rid of all the stuff that's 30 years outdated.
Oh, yeah.
Shovels
They've
in
been,
the,
Yeah,
in
a lot
the
of
storage
stuff.
building or in the
in the
trailers? that we
trailers,
rented?
mostly in the trailers.
Yeah.
So that's were we keeping
Ukraine-
one or?
We keep one of them.
One of,
You know what I mean? Alright. Everything's too modern for a lot of the, it's nothing too valuable, they just. The past guys were fat rats,
Yes.
all the way back.
Also,
Left.
huge thank go out to the Emerys. Marla and her husband donated, they had a bunch of like industrial shelf units that they got and found out they just weren't gonna work, and they said, make them. So,
Nice.
yeah, they worked out good. Johnson Fire Department calls, they responded to 13 calls, 9 during the day and 4 at night. The average duration was 75 minutes. Those were 3 vehicle crashes, 4 automatic alarms, 1 smoke condition, 2 odor investigations, 2 chimney fires, and 1 hazardous materials propane. The average number of firefighters responding was 12, and the total hours of service was 156. The Motorola base radio for the station was on back order from the 2023 flood damages, has arrived and has been installed by Burlington Communications. We've removed equipment and supplies from the tech room as preparation for the pending flood mitigation improvements. That work began on February 17th by DBI in accordance with the village.
Close to being done. The other day when I was in there, the great new stairs and everything was all in there.
Yep,
Everything, pretty much moved up besides the compressor, I think.
it's gotta be close. I haven't had a chance to get over there because access is difficult sometimes.
Done.
Yes, be good.
Awesome.
So on the next one, Gordy came in today, chatted. He's all set.
Okay, I don't think any of these guys know anything about it. So Eric emailed me, Eric Osgood. He is not gonna be available to do moderator for the annual meeting as president. So he said I needed to find somebody new. I asked Gordy Smith. Welcomely accepted. So let's start our meeting. I'll open the meeting up, we'll do our pledge allegiance, and then I'll ask the public for a motion to appoint Gordy pro tem moderator. Or pro tem
President pro tem.
Yeah, there you go. Just for that, and then I need to ask for Rosemary, Eric, and
If we have Nate and Dan.
Nate and Dan. Ask for them, somebody to give them permission to speak. On behalf of the village. So when they ask questions, so.
Yep.
Because Rosemary is now an employee, not an elected official, so she can't speak at her meeting without getting permission from the public. That's was there.
That was mostly it. It was just, we got the path on how to make it work legally for the temporary president.
And you asked VLCT.
That was straight from one of their lawyers.
We did our P's and Q's, made sure it was gonna work, because it was kind of without your curveball in it. And now that Rosemary needs permission, I had to remember everybody. So, I think it'll go smooth.
Yeah, Gordy's ready to do that. He talked about, okay, so you, Rosemary, Nate, and I said, and Dan, so okay.
Yeah, and I think that should be the only employees.
Yeah.
That will be here in attendance anyway, that would be speaking.
Right.
Not necessarily that they'll be speaking, but if they have a question that only Rosemary can answer.
is Eric still willing to serve as the village?
He is,
president?
he just can't come that particular
Right,
day.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he wants to continue as president,
He's up for election, so.
yep, he wants to continue, unforeseeable circumstance, he can't be there.
Got one job, and if there's no chair to open the meeting and then do the annual meeting. That's it. All right, I think that was it for that one. Eric.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
absolutely.
Unless anybody, it's April 1st at 7:30 up here.
Morning. Yep.
No. Afternoon.
1930 hours. 1930 hours.
Yeah, sad face. It shouldn't be very long, I wouldn't think. Unless they don't like our general department budget.
Seeing in this picture here, I feel remiss that my headshot isn't wearing
You know how
camo,
long it made him wait till I gave him a picture?
you know?
Right till the very end. He
My-
was trying to steal one off.
I get the only headshot
They
that
wouldn't do it.
picture not wearing camo, so I better get my camo picture out.
So let's burn through this fast. Okay, the website, since we got control of it, you'll notice, even the backing of this, I've changed a lot of formats, a lot of colors. We have tried to make things more user friendly. We have taken stuff away. We have added stuff. We're working on adding information, right now. The trustee page, if you scroll down to the bottom, dedication section. Thanks to Lydia, Susan and Gordy, I'm all the way back to 1982. Right now I'm working on getting pictures from, past members. So this is as far as we're gonna go back, just because Gordy don't even know where to get the information beyond this. So it's just pictures at this point.
Say some of them would be hard, like.
Yeah, we're not forcing you down the road, but this doesn't come out until you're done anyway.
Soon, I do have it out in front porch for him. I know some of them have passed, Gordy said, but we may be able to get some of their pictures too, so that's what we're pretty much working on. Susan did bring a good idea, to me and Eric about doing links, if you want to click on that, links. Village business links for people, for businesses inside the village, along with resources. So I created these pages, they'll be in alphabetical order. We'll put it out, anybody within the village limits, as long as they are with the SOS. They can be on this page, because then they're a legit business for the Secretary of State. And then if you click on the links and go to the resources. Anything, I mean, we even have a town on this, capstone, front porch forum, food shelves. Not just our area, but anything that will help the public, rural community transport, town of Johnson, and a brief description of what each of them are used for, Vermont weather. So the girls can just add to this as we think of more.
The only thing I would say about putting up a lot of businesses is it's gonna take continuous update. There's a lot of always roll over, so just,
Well, it's gonna be,
don't create too much on.
no, and it's gonna be up to the people to get a hold of us, not us to get a hold of the people, you know what I mean? So I am gonna, it will be put out, probably a couple times a year on Front Porch Forum, say, hey, if you're a local business, you're not on our page, you'd like to be, just send me your information with your website or Facebook and I'll put it up. That's something that I can take care of myself and keep it off the girls. Software, so I was talking with Eric, there's a couple things we can do, we can make the minutes and agendas searchable. One search, not go on a specific page and search that page, but from the search, do everything that's in. Everything we have there. Adobe may be able to do that, Eric says we do have Adobe, so we have to look into it and see if we have that ability. But it is set up for it, we just don't know, since it is a third party, our web people do not do it. But if Adobe says we have to reformat things, they are willing to help us reformat. But Susan and Eric, when I was talking to them, but they both said something like that would be a time saver, major time saver. There's also a thing called job forms, if somebody put in for facilities. Starter package is free. Eric feels we would, and along with Susan feels we would be within that free. 100 submissions a month would be way under that. What they do is take 5 forms, turn them submittable. The person fills it out, hit submit, and then it goes to wherever we program it to go to. So there's no printing and writing and figuring out where it goes, it just automatically submits, and we feel we can stay within that free. So that's something Eric's gonna have to look into too.
Our goal is to have the website running for April 1st, so during our meeting, we can announce that it is up and running. And so that probably the day before, we'll make it active, just to make sure everything is going good.
Well, then if you're gonna do that, we probably ought to have like this set up and do the same exact thing, so you can show everybody in the website.
Yeah, go over things like the dedication and the few, basically the few things we just did.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, you can show everybody quickly the website and. You wouldn't have to give them the lowdown you gave us, but.
Yeah, and just this library page, if you scroll down the bottom, I just added pictures and videos to the bottom, if you go down even more, this section here. So as that goes along, we'll just start adding pictures and videos, so we'll have a dedicated page just for that, those projects. Last thing is, department pages. They're coming along, the fire department, of course, they're super busy, so they're way behind on their part and working with Corey. I need permission from you guys. Corey does do web designing and stuff. And he would like access because their stuff is gonna be a lot of adding and updating constantly.
From the fire department.
For the fire department, and he would like us to give him access. So I told him, of course, I need permission from the board. And that way they can manage their own page constantly. Yes, I think it'd be a good idea. The other pages, I feel we can manage because it's very small and gateway in between, but these guys are a little bit more on top of it. I did talk to RJ, I had a meeting with them guys, and RJ says that if we're dedicated to this, he'd like to kind of make this his main push for all information, kind of make it like his baby too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For his piece.
So they don't want to have another page, it'll just be here.
Yeah, everything would be there, and then have their Facebook, but that's it.
So then I think, I don't think we need a motion or nothing, but I think just general consensus that we let the chief assign somebody to be able to do this, it's not necessarily Corey, could change.
Yep.
For
Give the chief his own sign in, and then he can do
chief,
whatever he wants from
yeah,
there.
and give him permission to enter it. I think just general consensus is all we'd need. Do you agree, Donna?
I'm agreeing.
No money involved, so. Okay, so you got that, so that's no problem. And then we needed to figure out what to do with like the placeholder for the entire thing. You were talking about the administrator or whatever and editors. So when Eric's done, somewhere we have a record of
So what I got,
access and stuff for the.
yes, so what it is you have an administrator that can wipe out the whole website. And then you've got editors that can pretty much do everything except major changes. Right now I have, because I'm making major pages and everything, I have myself as the administrator. I have Eric, Susan, Marla, Lydia, all as editors. I had Tech Group convert the VOJ email, which was at town, to VOJ. So we can throw the administrator onto that email. So that way it will always be attached here. So no matter who our admin is, it'll be always attached to this email instead of their specific emails. So they'll still have access to this to do it if they wanted to. And then I just need to know what you guys want me to have access to once I'm done doing this, because I have no problem with still adding, changing and working on it. Because right now, I actually, after I'm done this, they're gonna be building my website, so I'm gonna be very efficient in this system.
Right, but that's only like if we need to change a page. So most of the work going into it will be just updated from office staff.
Editor.
So that's the general part of it, so.
Editors should be able to take everything except adding pages and major things like that.
Yeah, so I think we ought to have on a file somewhere, the administrator set up access, password and everything that can be in the vault.
For the admin.
For whoever has the main control of the page, who can remove editors if there's new employees or whatnot. That way it's always on record in the vault also if this board could be gone and nobody would have any information on it, so.
And everybody that works on it will have their editor. And then the the admin will be the one that they can go in and create the things. Like right now, I just called her and had her do it, cause. That's, I'm sure it can't be that hard after doing this crap. I'm
So
sure
a
it's
file
just
in the
couple
vault would be a
buttons.
good way to make sure that's maintained,
Mhm.
Rosemary. Okay, so you can work with her, get that figured out at some point in time, just so it's in there.
And we'll attach it to the BOJ.
I'm pretty sure the board already said this is your baby, so just
It's easy enough.
keep going, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Thanks again for all your work.
Yeah,
on it.
yeah.
Getting
I'm
that.
no webpage guru, I'm pretty sure Steve and Darrell aren't either.
I do, the one thing I would like you guys to do is. Spend a little bit of time on it before it goes live, because like I said, I'm the one doing it. With all the stuff, and I'm sure there's gonna be little errors that I am not catching it, cause I'm going so fast through it. That I will need to be, hey, the word here,
I found when you fixed it.
you know what I mean, but that's what I'd like you guys to do, is when we go live, I wanna have. The least amount of issues on there.
Yep.
That-
Extra eyes are good.
Or something. So I do want to ask you, I do have, I'm gonna send this back to our designers prior to going live, so they can go over it and make sure everything I have on there is linked up right and everything. I would like you to basically say, once it's done, I was gonna show Eric it, go over everything with Eric, make sure everything works. And then just kind of give us permission to throw it to them without coming to the board first. Is that fine?
I have no issues, you.
Okay, Steve?
Yeah.
Sounds like you got it.
Good.
So you'll figure out, you're gonna go meet with RJ again and show them how to edit, is that what you're?
I know,
Work with Corey.
I talked to Corey knows.
Just their page.
Corey knows,
You
yeah,
probably ought to go the first time he jumps into it, all right?
yeah, cause I'm gonna bring him the web thing, I've already talked to Corey, we have to set up a time to go into it, to show him his page. And to go over a few things that we have to show him that's just basically our system.
Yep.
But he knows programming and stuff, and we'll start designing their page and he'll pick up on it since he understands us stuff.
So the fire department can edit their page how they see fit,
One,
that's what we're looking at, basically, if they wanna change that picture.
and do whatever they want.
Yep.
They're
So you
called,
just make that clear,
added,
don't
taken
you know?
over. Yes.
You know, the chief's gonna have final approval for pictures going on the page.
Yeah, and I had a meeting with their whole group and everything, and they're right down to. RJ's gonna give them permission, he's gonna put it on they have a. Bag on their permission.
Right, but if we send it to the chief and then he designates it, it frees us up and they
One-
save us some better to him than.
100%.
And
And
that's the proper way to do chain of command anyway.
Yep.
and Nate and them guys are gonna give us a main picture for their page, one of the trucks and everything, we're hoping to do that before it goes live, just have a cool picture on their page.
Yeah, and I wouldn't see Nate and them wanting access, I wouldn't see Dan and the crew wanting access. Because if they
No,
got
they-
a boil of water, they tell you guys, right? You know, guys know, so you guys put out the warning.
Right. One thing we are gonna make, if you go to the main page again, we are gonna have to figure out the strip, when do we turn the strip yellow, when do we turn the strip red? That's it. That's
For, and what's that?
That's a warning strip, so right
Oh.
now, everything is quiet, say there is a water leak or something.
Is there something that explains that? Or do we have?
We put it in. That's
Right,
100%.
so if I come to look at it, I'm gonna see all is quiet
Now,
in the village.
When you're in a warning thing, will it run text across? No.
So we'll put it in and then if we wanna add any links and we can make it grow a little bit and put.
Couple of lines.
Yes.
Okay.
So if we have a water main that, or say electricity is gonna be out for some reason, we can put it up there a day before, put in, electricity gonna be out here from this date to this time. And then we can just turn it back to green
And
afterwards.
you can turn it to yellow and say possible ice
There's
dam
actually-
flooding from this date to this date.
Yep, there's actually 3 that's already there, we just have yellow and red hidden.
I remember, they were
Yep.
there at the beginning.
Yep, so they're hidden, what we'd do is would hide this, bring the yellow up with possible flooding, and then if there's ever any flooding, then we'll just turn it red with flooding and whatever information. And we can use it for electrical being out,
I think like
Water
water, if there's a small area of water break, I think I'd still put it like yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that way, it just makes me feel a lot better, because you know how I've always, like. Oil and water and stuff, to like put it out to the public. Well, if we have it on this, and
Yeah.
people have a right to kind of, if they come and see it, they see it, if they don't. That's, but that way we can hopefully start getting people more used to hours, like, but I honestly, until I went back to the towns to start getting some information, I didn't realize. How bad our website was.
Like I said, I've only gone to look for minutes or something, so I don't really.
And then Eric, the ones you did mention to me, they are in departments, or the. Not departments, but documents and forms under miscellaneous, the. Open meeting laws and that sort of stuff. If you go down, each section has its own subsection. And I think, they would have it as its own. Cause you said you wanted room
Yep.
for more. And then we have miscellaneous applications, open meeting law, so it's a standalone thing. For people to get.
There you
And
go.
of course, we can do whatever you guys want or add to it.
Yep.
Okay.
Run with it. I don't think you need to ask us much about it for the event. So. Grand opening event.
There you go.
And gotta figure out why Eric's not on there, on his.
I told him you're just gonna keep deleting them. Alright, so wastewater relocation. Hopefully.
Yep.
Project funded.
So let's see.
Let's be clear. There's nothing saying the wastewater treatment plant is moving like, maybe feet, but.
Right. So. Last regular meeting, we asked you guys about. Us going to talk to the select board. About seeing if they're on board with possibly if. Dropping this building and letting us buy them out. And they are. So, I mean, it's,
Entertain this in it.
conceptually, but we basically got. Agreement. That if it goes that way, we'll figure something out. So that. Freed me up to go to the Capitol for a day. With the governor's staff. So they had that planned for us for the governor's, basically his staff was gonna be there after lunch. But turns out, for a different part of it, he was gonna be there before lunch.
Did he want to go snow?
And Ken caught that, he calls me on my way to work, says, hey. You might wanna be there before lunch, that's when the boss gonna be there. So I had a meeting scheduled with RJ and one of his guys, actually Lieutenant Jennison. It's got a kind of some flood modeling data he wants to show me. We're gonna have to reschedule that. I got a hold of the chief, say, hey, we have to reschedule. I need to talk to the governor. So went there, did get a chance to bend the governor's ear. He seemed pretty supportive. Then went back in the afternoon and talked to the people actually managing the community development block grant for debt disaster response, which is the main one we're looking at. And they had their little presentation. And they made their grant sizes much bigger than they did back in previous disasters. With a minimum of 500,000 and a max of 10 million. And I was like, oh, sorry. So basically I'll want to actually take mine and break it apart into two. Like what? So I told them, what we're thinking, working with the town, possibly working with the college. Moving this maybe to somewhere on campus or somewhere else. And doing it as part of the same grant as the wastewater. You're like, oh, not the 10 mil was just something we kind of pulled out of our ears, and bigger is better. Says they want to do less projects, bigger projects, because there's less, minutia for them to deal with, basically. And told them what we're thinking, and there's a whole lot of head nodding, not any head shaking going on. So there's no guarantees, but
And again,
we're also dealing with federal money that may or may not be here.
Right.
when we're talking about, we want 15 extra million, we're just guesstimating. It's not,
Right.
nothing said it could be 10.
Right.
Once we got the actual
We told them it'd
design
be,
plan.
we told them it'd be low 20s.
Yeah.
You know, with everything we're looking for. So,
Right, but that's also including our FEMA,
right. No,
that would include our
No,
FEMA mitigation money.
the FEMA money is to be about 14 million, it's gonna cost another 10 to 12 to move the plant,
Yes, but I'm
so that's
saying,
10 to 12. And then. If you wanna do. You know, a municipal building and maybe some housing, maybe a grocery store, all this other stuff in one big grant fund, you're gonna need more money.
well, I wouldn't see it all attached to the wastewater, they'd have to do it in one. You're talking two different entities, the town can't be in,
Oh,
funded
they said we could,
for a private enterprise, I don't see how that possibly even work.
they've got carte blanche with their money mostly.
Well,
They like-
I'm
they-
just saying,
they
I
were
don't
like-
see how they would be tied to the same.
They were liking the multifaceted project like that with different players. They actually thought that was a great idea. And they're the actual grant managers.
Why would they do a store?
That's just conversation.
Right, we're just talking about
Oh.
grand ideas. We're
Gotcha,
just,
gotcha.
we're throwing big picture ideas out there. You know, whatever sticks to the wall sticks. You know, with what's actually plausible, you know. So, you know, we talked to. I forget the guy's name. It's like Alfred, but it's not Alfred. We talked to Philip at the college, and they've got real estate. So it's all just beginning discussions, but they've got real estate. Because they, you know, they've got more buildings than they have students. So.
Okay, so back to what I was saying, I have no issues with working with everything together.
Right.
I just see no possibility of the town being tied to any finances that involves our sewer treatment plant.
Yep, well, there's the other, so that's pot A. Pot B still hasn't fleshed out. But USDA Rural Development has a pot coming up that's specifically aimed at the impacted water and wastewater facilities.
Yeah.
So.
Again, like I said, I'm not bashing none of it, I'm
Right,
just saying.
why not?
If there's match money involved, I don't see how that possibly fly with the town voters.
Right, I don't think there is.
If there's no match money involved and they're just giving us money, then it doesn't matter, we can.
Yeah, actually, I remember,
Rosemary will divvy it up.
actually, I remember where the slide says no match is necessary.
Yeah.
So. There's no match necessary on that money.
Will it be matching our original? Or is that all going away and it's starting over, is that what you're saying, as far as the FEMA
Well,
reimbursement?
the FEMA, we'd still be getting the FEMA.
So that would still be part of it.
Right.
And then we need the extra to move it, yes.
Right.
Okay.
So are you leaning towards that this might be the best option is to tear this building down and put
This
the.
is the
Sewage
best,
It is the
Staying
best
here.
option. It really is. I mean,
unfortunate.
me personally, I hate to do it. Cause it means I'm gonna have to move my office twice more. Which is pain in the butt just moving up and down the same building. But it's the right thing to do.
Yes, I mean, is it the absolute 100% best? No, because it could, water's still gonna get here. It's gonna be built up high enough, so if the water gets to it, then.
And
most
so
of the
then
village
where,
is gone.
Well, it's the
so
best,
then where would the town and village hall go? Or would they be
That's-
separate?
that's still a question.
We're looking at several opportunities.
Yeah, still a question. And that's why I said I didn't move them twice, is because if it does happen. This will need to hit the ground faster than we can find a permanent place to house municipal offices. We'll have to have temporary office space. Until we get some permanent digs.
FEMA trailers.
There's how's it gonna look, I mean,
The design of it?
yeah, I mean, you're just gonna be driving down the road and see two big old septic tanks out here, I mean,
Oh, no.
I'm just trying to think in my mind that
Oh, no.
right here.
There'll be a screen,
the
there'll be a screen of
middle of
conifers
it.
for one.
Yeah, it'd be pleasant on this side.
It'd be a building, basically a building.
Basically like you look at now, you don't see nothing.
It'll be a big building.
That's
but-
what I mean, I
But
just
there'll
don't
probably,
think,
we'll probably do a screen of hedge anyway.
And it's gonna be set back anyway, because if we did do something, that's where the old folks building lot would be right up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just tried to picture in my mind how that would.
It'd just be,
That would be all, that's up to us, we'd have some
Yeah.
design input.
Yeah.
be a
So-
couple of industrial looking buildings.
Some nice big trees that'll grow up in no time, that won't affect our piping.
We're gonna move our nice orange tree,
What's that?
our nice tree out here.
We'll have it moved and transplanted on your green, how's that?
Perfect.
There you go.
And
That would
we
be a
don't
great
use
spot
about
for
1
it.
week a year.
Oh, the flowering one, yeah.
Mhm.
How about we move it?
But that's about all I got on that.
Any other questions? No. Everybody's happy?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Gonna be warm.
Quick.
45 minutes.
Yeah. New record. For a regular meeting.
So you're gonna work on the car policy.
Mhm.
Did the crew get a demo lined up for snow blower, or are they just not caring about that right this time?
They're leaving it alone for now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you still gotta
They're-
pull the weights off the other one, discuss. So he kept the weights off the old one, saved us some money, and he's gonna work on getting
They pay 800 bucks.
safety grant, so we can get a backup or a camera that's on the back of the skid steer, it's on all the time. Safety, good. Half of that, you said, usually
Right.
safety grant,
Yeah. Should be able to. Get passive safety grant, could save us another 800 bucks.
yeah. Told them give us more for a trade-in, I'll pay for it, and they agreed, so we were spent on that, so they'll be safer anyway.
Mhm.
If it works out really well, we'll look at doing one for the other one. Down the road,
Yeah.
but that one out all the time is probably the best one to have on. And it's gonna be on the whole time, correct?
Yeah.
It'll stay on the little screen and it'll just be running facing behind
I
it.
think it just goes on when you put it in reverse.
It's just when you pull the thing back, you gotta put a switch on.
But just as soon as you hit reverse, it'll. Just like.
The
just
ones
like
that
your
ours
vehicle.
are on all the time.
Maybe it's all the time.
Yeah, I thought they would be.
Maybe it
It's
is.
kinda like the one I get for my
Yeah,
side.
that way you just look up, see if there's
Look up, see
somebody
it.
wandering behind you.
There you go.
Before you pull it back. or
Yeah.
whatnot.
I said,
I mean, there might be different.
I've never been in a Bobcat
Yeah.
that had a backup camera, so I don't know.
Do they work good?
Oh, we're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, they're made.
As long as you get the people to look at the camera, look at the screen.
Right.
When you start getting in a zone of doing the same thing over and over and over. Thinking that there ain't nothing behind you.
I think Matt's still a little nervous. He's got a rubberneck when he's
Yeah.
driving. He's always.
Good.
I see him over
I
there
like
this
it.
morning.
That means less accident.
Oh, absolutely. All right, meeting's adjourned, 6:48.
Wow.